recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And this week, I have a brand new guest to the show. This is someone I met all the way back in junior high. And walking around the halls, you could not miss this girl. I mean, she had bright red hair. She was a little mysterious. And she hung out with a different crowd, certainly than my crowd, that's for sure. Yeah, we had classes together, but we never really hung out. And frankly, we rarely even spoke. But then Facebook came out, and this was a game changer. We ended up reconnecting and finding out that we had a lot of things in common. So she is with us today, and we are going to discuss a number of different topics, including Taco Tuesday, and old school music of the 90s, and what it was like living in Puerto Rico. So please give me a warm welcome for my favorite Taco Tuesday buddy, the one and only, Miss Jessi L Cartagena. All right. Woo! Yes, Jessi! Jessi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. I am awesome. So you're in Chicago right now, right?
I am. There's a bunch of other places I wish I could be at this moment, but yes.
Looks warm there.
Yeah. This is my wearable blanket. I wear it all year long or all winter long. My husband has a matching one. He's just not here right now, but.
Oh, what's he doing?
He is out with some friends. We don't really have the same friends. So he's out with us, and that works out. Right on. Fantastic. Oh, was that Spud? No, that's Pasta. Pasta, anytime I talk, she thinks it must be to her. So it's I literally can't work from home because I can't have a fucking conversation. Like
awesome. What are you drinking?
Bud's out here. He's chilling. I'm having some Boda Box Rosé because I'm very classy.
Ooh.
But then I classed up with some strawberries, don't you know? Some frozen strawberries, if you will.
Nice. It's like some Jessi Sangria going on over there. I mean,
I'm not a red wine drinker, so.
All right. So Jessi, I kind of want to talk about everything here. Well, not everything, but so we you and I first met at Cascade Junior High.
Yeah.
In Auburn, Washington.
Yeah.
And
my first year up in Washington.
So Jessi, you're originally from California, is that correct?
Yeah. I moved up to Washington right at junior high age. So while everybody else knew each other from their elementary school, I was just all, hey. And my dad told me, don't tell anybody that you're from California because they're going to hate you. And so I was like scared everyone hated me just from being there. So loved junior high. It was a good time for me.
Junior high, yeah. So you were definitely one of the cooler kids in junior high, weren't you? Were you like one of the cooler kids?
I really wanted to be. I don't think I was, but I wanted to be. I wanted to be like the nice, cooler kid, like not one of the dick cooler kids. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, you were definitely, you had cooler friends than I did. First off, let's start here. I didn't really,
Josh, you really grew into yourself after high school.
Yeah.
You really bloomed.
So yeah, you went to the dances at Cascade, right?
I went to one dance at Cascade.
Okay.
I went to two dances. One of them I got hit by a car at. The second
you got hit by a car?
Yeah.
What?
Hit by a van. By a fucking substitute teacher picking up her daughter at the dance.
You got hit by a car?
Yeah. I got helicoptered to Harborview Trauma Center.
What? No way.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. Right outside the school.
So did you break anything?
Yeah, I broke my pelvic bone in a bunch of places.
Wow. Does it hurt still to this day?
No. No, but it was like rough at the time, but I milked it for everything though, too. Like the substitute teacher that hit me, like, would be our PE teacher sub in high school. And I'd be like, oh, I can't dress down. My pelvic bone hurts. It did.
What grade was this? Was this 7th, 8th, or 9th?
It was my 8th or 9th grade. I think it's 9th grade.
Wow. And that was the first and only dance that you went to?
I went to 2. The other one, is this PG? Am I allowed to say about stuff about drugs? The other one I dropped acid at, and I was in junior fucking high dropping acid, so that's cool. Oh
man, your experience is so much different than mine.
I don't remember being at any dances per se. I just remember the tragedies that went after them.
How do you even get a hold of acid at that age?
Right. I mean, at 45, I certainly cannot get a hold of acid. Like, I would not, I don't want to, but I wouldn't have any fucking idea. But back then you got I don't know. I don't even remember.
Have you ever seen like the Wonder Years? I'm kind of like more like Kevin, except for the, Winnie Cooper kind of deal there. So I'm at the dance and I'm just like standing on the side, drinking Coke, like watching everybody. But I'm more focused on kind of like the DJ who's like, he's controlling all these people. And I thought that was fascinating. So, I'm like listening to all the songs that I'm like kind of like logging these songs in my head and, everything like that. And I'm like, well, I'm definitely not one of them. You were probably out in the middle. I'm probably not one of these people like that are, dancing, having a good time, dropping acid.
I was not dancing in the middle. I was in the bathroom freaking out because I had no idea.
Oh my God.
What? This is not like, what? I was freaking out. And when I went outside, when I went out to the dance floor, my boyfriend at the time, McCoy, started like dancing to You Shook Me All Night Long, and he was singing all the words at me, and I was just tripping all, whoa.
Wow. The walls are all melting.
It was
crazy.
That time I was with Stacy Plymouth. Well, she was always my drug taker with me.
Wait, who was?
Maybe we have to edit that part out. So Stacy was always like my partner in crime for that shit. Yeah. Yes. But that first time that we did it, we legit were just standing in the bathroom at the Cascade dance going, what do you mean my mom's about to pick me up? I'm freaking out, man. It's not cool. We did not think it was like an 8-hour thing. We thought you just fucking danced through it for a minute. Nah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So that lasts quite a bit longer than, booze.
Yeah, sure does. Learn that the hard way a couple times.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So you, yeah, I definitely was not dropping acid at the junior high dance. That is hilarious. Wow. I've never heard. And you got hit by a car. So was it after the dance that you got hit by a car? Or was it before the dance that you got hit by a car?
I got hit by, it was after the dance.
Was this when you were on acid trying to find the street or something, or what?
No, I was not on acid at the time. My parents were really strict when I was growing up, so I was never allowed to like go out for anything. And my aunt was in town. My aunt was really cool. And so I was like, just tell mom and dad, like everyone goes to McDonald's after the dance. I just want to walk to McDonald's with every fucking one else. Come on.
Yeah.
So they've let me go. And my boyfriend and I were in, a very big junior high fight. And so I was yelling at him from across the street and just needed to get over there, I guess. So I bolted across the street.
Oh, no.
And it was raining. I was wearing dark clothes. But I was still like a foot from safety, like from all the way to the other fucking side.
Yeah.
And someone yelled my name because she saw the van coming, and I stopped to go, what? And and I hit her windshield, and I went over the van, And this, again, was after a high school dance. There were a ton of people that saw it. And the lady who hit me, sued my parents for the damages to her van because I dented her fender, I broke her windshield, and I ran out in the middle of, whatever. But she should have also been fucking going 20. Now as a driver, I'm like, bitch, you should have been going 20 miles an hour, 25 tops. Like,
right.
And all they had for witnesses were junior high kids who were going, man, it looked like she was going fast, so they couldn't really, like, there was no, as kids, we couldn't actually say what happened. And to her, she was like, I did the law. So she sued us.
Wow.
Cool.
That's crazy. So did she win, like, her lawsuit against
my parents didn't fight it.
Oh, really? They're just like,
I guess. I don't, like, I never got, like, I was so mad about it. And I'm like, I mean, I guess if you have the money or whatever.
Wow. Now, so that was later in junior high, because we went to a junior high that was like the 6th or 7th, 8th, and 9th. And now it's like, what, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th? That
was that. Oh, yeah. Well, when we went to junior high, it was 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. So did you play any sports or have any extracurricular activities that you did? You're like, it was dropping acid. I already told you my extracurricular.
I was trying to find the next kid that was smoking a cigarette so I could, like, make a friend that way. That was how I, like, made friends, basically. I found the bad kids or whatever, and that's what I did. Because I felt like I was the best of the bad kids, too. Like, I'm not totally like you, just a little.
Right. Yeah. So, like, you didn't, now you were, because I always remember you kind of like, one of the smoker kids, but I didn't think you were not, like, over the top,
I was low pro about everything I did, like, and still to this day, I'm low pro about my shits. Like, I like to play with the best of them, but maybe I just don't need to put it all out there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So,
I have that switch that tells me that this is not always socially acceptable, and a lot of people, I feel like, just that, those are the people that, like, go down those big, like, binges or whatever. But a lot of people just don't have that fucking switch. That's like,
well, because smoking it is a sociable, like, thing, like a lot of people do meet people, like, smoking and whatever, just, stand, because, you're not usually, standing in the middle of a classroom or, in a hallway smoking.
Right. To this day, like, if I'm at a bar, I go outside and I smoke, and then there might be, like, 1 or 2 other people now smoking. And then you start fucking talking to them, because otherwise you're just standing 3 feet away from someone fucking not talking. So,
So, like, I mean, that could be why that it's so funny, because, like, just flipping through, like, yearbooks and stuff like that, I can tell you for a fact that you're definitely, back in those days, you were definitely more popular than I was on whatever level it was, because I'll tell you why. Because it's so funny. If you look up my name in the back of those yearbooks, and where it has the little glossary or whatever, mine is like the page where, my mugshot is, like, in with everybody else's mugshot. Yours is like, you have, like, you have funniest people, Jessi L King.
I think I only got one thing ever. I think me and Jenna Zell got, like, best friends forever.
Yes. Yep. I saw that one too. Yeah. You have 2. You had, like, there was, like, 3 people in one of them. There was, like, 1 in junior high, 1 in high school.
Oh, that's fun. I had a storage unit go wrong, and so I lost all of my yearbooks. So I don't have any.
Oh, really?
So that's fun.
I can flash up some of the pictures, later
so
in post.
Holy shit. Jen and I are still, like, such good friends. So that's fun for me to awesome. like.
I always remember, you had a little, like, rat pack of, like, your friends, and you guys were always together.
Yeah.
Did you skip school a lot? Did you guys ever skip school?
As much as I could, as much as I possibly could. We knew all the ways to get around it. We knew how many classes they were going to call, like how many we could skip before they called. And then if they called, I knew what to do. So back in the day, we had just the regular rotary phones. And so the days that I knew, because the school would only also try for one day, then they just fucking give up. So I would plug in a rotary phone into our guest room that doesn't usually have a phone and leave it off the hook. And my parents all day would be picking up the phone. So like, this isn't working. They had no fucking idea why the phone wasn't working. And when the school called, they just got So I got away with a lot of days.
Another reason. See, there's another reason why you're like a lot cooler than I am, because skipping school, you have a reason to skip school. Apparently, I was like, I have nothing better else to do. I'm just gonna go to school. At the end of the year, you remember? So in high school, we went to like one of the biggest high school. I think it was the biggest high school in the entire state at that point in time.
Now there's like pregnancies.
It's like almost 3,000 kids or something like that that went there. I remember I don't know if you remember this, is like, but because this is easy to remember because I was literally the only person that got this award. They're giving awards at the end of the year.
Oh my God, it's the best attendance. I hate you. Is it?
4 years in a row, perfect attendance.
Oh,
I was like, wait a minute, you guys are counting ninth grade?
Wow. Josh, even my mom made fun of that award. Like, she'd be like, I never wanted that. Oh my God. I'm not interested.
Yeah. No, it's something I never ever brought up to anybody until I was, applying for jobs, and they were like, that's really impressive. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
I was really good at going to school. Yeah.
Like, look at this. Hey, check out this nerd over here.
No, I never wanted that one. In fact, I actually failed a number of classes because of attendance.
Really?
Just trying to grab.
So you were not a straight A student.
So drawing and PE, I both failed because you could only have 10 absences. And that is just 10's just not enough. Like, I got shit to do.
The classes that I excelled at and looked forward to, those are the ones that you dreaded.
Oh my gosh, I hate it. As soon as like the swimming thing and PE was happening, I was like, oh, I won't be for the next 3 weeks. Like, I would skip by myself just because I didn't want to go. Like, right. And then drawing, I'm horrible at. So, okay, at least if I flunk because of attendance, then it's better than just because I sucked,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So now let's get into, I always want to talk about, music. What kind of music did you listen to back in the day? Were you like into like a specific genre, like country, rock, rap, metal? What were you into?
I think probably like in high school, whatever, I was like Nirvana and Pearl Jam. And I still think that I am that. Like, but I also, like, on the way home tonight, like I'm listening right now to just the stuff that I already have downloaded and in order by song title, because otherwise I feel like it just doesn't skip to the right thing. Like I hear the same. So my stuff goes from like legit, like Frank Sinatra to Eminem to Johnny Cash to Leanne Rhymes to.
So it's a little bit of everything.
It really is. It just depends. It's just my husband is Puerto Rican, and there's people that he listens to that I don't know a fucking word they're saying, but I'm like, ooh, like I love it. It's a vibe for me, not so much genre,
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, were you into like going back to junior high and stuff? Were you like into the boy bands and stuff like that?
No, never. So I've never been. Obviously, I know the NSYNC songs and whatever now, but I never was insane. I never like, not even as a kid, and New Kids on the Block were like the first ones, and I didn't even like them. Like I always felt like always a little too old for whatever's fucking going on there.
You weren't hanging tough.
All the way down Britney Spears, not like I just can't. It's fine now to me. Like now I'm all, that's cute. Like
what about like middle of the road? What about like Boys to Men?
I
like Motown Philly. Do you like that song?
I did like Boys to Men. I would bet that I bought one of their like CDs from those magazines that you could do like the
BMG or Columbia House.
Totally. I bet I bought one. I actually feel like I might have done that.
Like for a penny, you could get 10 CDs or 20 CDs or something like that.
I definitely was also listening to a lot of like NWA and Eazy-E.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me, like when I'm listening and singing those songs now, because they're obviously just coming from like memory. And I'm like, wow, the shit I was singing in like 8th grade. Like Eazy-E is about to like fucking rape a transvestite, and I'm like, fuck that bitch, like, I'm just singing along.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but that's what made it fun, right? Like if it had that sticker on there,
no, like thought process behind it. Like nobody was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like it's now that I feel like everybody's like, oh, maybe she shouldn't say that. Like apparently I'm not allowed to like say the N-word when I'm singing a 50 Cent song. Dude, if he says it, I'm gonna say it. Like that's how that goes.
You'd be like what's that movie? Office Space, when he's like going down the street, like saying, and then he rolls up the window, like.
I just think you gotta sing it all. My friend disagrees with me vehemently, and she thinks that I should not be doing that. But like, can you imagine like 50, because 50 and I are gonna meet someday. What if I was singing this song and then like I just skipping every other word all like I'm gonna say it. You said it. I'm not using it in like language,
Right.
I'm just singing a song.
So Jessi, what was your first concert that you went to?
Aerosmith.
That's like the greatest first concert ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And actually, to this day, it is my second favorite concert.
Wow. What's your favorite concert?
Guns N' Roses.
Oh, look at you over here.
I just got the chills.
That's awesome. Wait, so what years were we talking on these? Are these like the 80s, 90s? What are these?
Aerosmith would have been Trina Olsen's dad took us. So it would have been junior high still if I was like probably 8th grade for me. Guns N' Roses just happened.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I remember you see like bucket list. Boom.
Yeah.
That's
my
awesome.
husband,
Yeah,
like best ride ever.
They're pretty good.
My husband was like, remember that time we got married? I'm like, oh yeah, but best night ever.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
So fun.
You're like Guns N' Roses, and then marriage is like right. That's awesome. Now, what was the first piece of music that you bought with your own money? How about that? Was it a tape? Was it a CD? Was it a?
I don't remember the first piece of music I bought. I remember the first piece of music I had and listened to regularly, which was. Are you
trying to say you stole a piece of music from a store?
No. I'm just saying that I feel like by the time I was like buying music, it was probably like I was 9 and buying those CDs that you're not supposed to, So I don't remember quite what that was, or that not even CDs. Obviously, they were tapes. But I remember my first like music was the Grease 1 soundtrack, and it was on an LP.
Nice.
Record.
Nice. I think I have that laying around somewhere.
That's what awesome. I remember as far as like my first musics.
You're the one that I want. You were singing that in karaoke?
Yes. When I was growing up, I was always like, I made the Pink Lady Club, like I was going to be in the Pink Ladies Club. So I feel like it formed some childhood nightmares for some other children because I was obviously the president.
Now, Jessi, your first job. What was your first job that you had?
Popeyes. Chicken in Federal
Popeyes
Way.
chicken. Where is Popeyes chicken? Was that in Auburn?
It was
Where
in
is that?
Federal Way.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
I didn't want to be anywhere. I wanted a job so bad. And I had to have a job. My parents wanted me to work for, I didn't have a car, but like to use my mom's car or like something. Like they were always like, you don't get shit for free. So you got to do some stuff. So it was like to pay for the insurance or something. But yeah, Popeyes and Federal Way.
Nice. How long did you work there?
Stacy Plymell again was part of that.
Yeah, Stacy in the house.
Yeah, she should. Yeah, Stacy would have
awesome
memories. I didn't last very long. It was maybe 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
And then I told them that my grandpa had died. He had passed away years before. And I just never went back.
Your grandpa would have been proud. He's like, look, hey, at least I got you out of that place.
I couldn't do it. Like I thought I was going to be able to do it, but people complain. Like I had people complain because I wasn't friendly or something. I'm like, I'm just trying to give you your fucking chicken. Like,
like again, I'm going back to office space. So like, we need you to smile more and can
it was totally that.
Put more flair.
I always wanted to be on drive-through because you just like press buttons and talk in a microphone. Like that's my gig. Yeah. This whole like people walking up and hey, I couldn't do. And they're people are crazy. Like the fact you would legit go to my manager and go, I just really wish you would smile more. Shut up. Shut up, Karen. Like there have been Karens since the 90s, you know?
You needed a more not social job.
So my second job in high school, I went to, I was a telemarketer for Cascade Athletic Club. And that worked out really well. Like,
whoa.
That worked out well because I didn't have to interact with people in person. So over the phone, I was like, well, I'll say my fucking speech. If you hang up on me, I don't care.
Yeah.
But a lot of people took whatever bait we were giving them and we got like bonuses. And so that was fun. And then I started being friends with like my manager. And then I like got a little higher in the food chain and I was able to fire other people. And everyone who worked there went to our high school. It was just it was a classroom basically. Yeah. So there were firings I didn't hate doing. Like
we're kind of starting to get your personality here. You're like, you're not smiling enough. You enjoy firing people.
I did. There was one person I really didn't like firing. And then I think it all like lost fun for me. But for a while I didn't hate like what I was doing.
Well, especially when they deserve it, right? You know, so it's
they always deserve it, Josh.
Yeah, right.
They always deserve it. There's a girl at work right now who is on that fucking chopping block and she should have been for so long. And everyone's going like, everyone who has hated her along with me now is going like, oh, I feel a little bad. I'm like, why? I don't. She didn't try and help herself, but just got to help themselves. I did, you know?
Yes. So Jessi, so we didn't really interact in like high school or anything. I mean, we definitely knew of each other and stuff like that, but I don't even know if we had even many classes. I think you were like in the AP classes or something like that.
Our first like real interactions were Facebook, Josh.
Right. So fast forward to like what, 2000, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something like that. We became Facebook friends.
Chicago and it's legal. So
what's that? Oh, okay. I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you'd like. You can drop acid. You can do whatever you like.
Next Zoom meeting.
So I think, I don't know how just one of those things where it's like Facebook was the new thing where you just like, yep, I remember this person from high school and this person, blah, 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 except friend request, blah, blah.
I don't remember you, but okay.
Right. Exactly. But it became very apparent that you and I both had kind of like a sick personality, and, our sense of humors were like, very dark and stuff like that. So like every time there would be some sort of comment, I was like, man, this chick's like hilarious. Like this I like this girl. Yeah. So, and I think you were one of the first people to call me out for liking my own status update.
I still laugh at you about that. I feel
I was always in the camp that, they allow me to like it. So of course I'm going to like it because I'm the one that posted it. So of course I'm going to like it.
But I think like it goes without saying. If I post something, I approve of this.
Yes, of course.
But you're
I stand by. Yeah, I stand by my own statements. So
yeah, you really do. And I feel like you were tagging yourself in your own photos. Is that right? Is that also right, Josh? Because I also think that was happening.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah. So I think the following year, then they allowed you to like your own. So you could like your own posts, and then they added the likes to comments, so then you could like your own comment, and I did that too. So they still make it available for me to like. So I'm still liking 10, 12 years later.
It's a lot of work. It really is. Honestly, even getting on Facebook right now is a lot of work for me. I just do not. I'm this close to just deleting it, only because now there's because I don't really want to go on it right now. There's just it got
so when it was fun,
political at some point, and then now it's just boring.
I know.
But, I'm boring. I'm not posting anything. I used to
like,
hey, I'm here, or like whatever I was doing, and now I'm not trying to do that,
But remember when it was so fun back in the day? Like it was actually fun. It was like we were just screwing around. Everything was just making fun of stuff, and
I was like writing posts to Spud, like drunk posts about I couldn't find Spud. Where are you?
Yeah, it was like just stupid stuff, like all the time, like constantly. Dumb pictures. Everything was dumb. Everything was like, juvenile and, idiotic. Now it's like everything's like really serious now. It's like everything's like getting in political fights and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, I don't care about this. Like
that, or then like my husband, I don't know how, like tags me and stuff all the time. And then since I don't check Facebook, by the time I go there, it'll be like 12 notifications. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot to respond to.
It's just too much.
I know. If it weren't for a few people that I feel like I would otherwise have no interaction with, and what if like something happened to me, or I don't know, or my mom or something, this is actually the only forum like that I would, I guess, message them, or like, I don't know. It is really the only reason. There's just a few people, because otherwise I fucking like you, like all my friends, I just actually talk to. Like on your,
I have your phone number. We could text.
We are fucking 45 on your birthday. I'm not posting on all, dude. I'm gonna text you. I'm just not. I'm not.
4,000 happy birthday.
Like, the cutest like Facebook post or funniest one, and now like because you wanted other people to see, and now I'm just now I just want you to see that I see you.
There you go, and which leads me to my next topic. Are you gonna get some more?
Oh yeah.
All right. I love how we get the full we get the full Jessi over here like getting drinks. This is good.
This was tougher on the computer, so would have been tough to carry it around.
It's awesome. So yeah, Jessi is going into the fridge. She is grabbing another drink. I think she's sticking with the same thing here. Maybe she's gonna be. You getting something different? What are you getting here? Same thing?
I stick with the same. I'm not a mixer anymore, I guess. I got really in my old age.
So, Jessi, you have to explain how the whole Taco Tuesday thing first started, because I guess I don't understand how it first started. I mean, it's become a crazy, huge thing now. I mean, really
I think it's
the most of our conversation is Taco Tuesday.
Josh, it actually started off crazy. So it maybe not in your life, but certainly mine. I let's just say was dating somebody who we were on Facebook again, was new, probably a couple months into it. You and I were friends. You fucking like everything on everything. Apparently that ruffled some feathers. I didn't know. To me, I didn't notice. I didn't wasn't a thing. And again, back on Facebook, you just talked about whatever you like. And I had a post that said something like, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. And you said Taco Tuesday. And I was actually on my way. He was living in Philadelphia. I was on my way to the airport to go see him when this was happening. And he started freaking out, calling me, asking me what the fuck Taco Tuesday was. And I did not know.
I'm like, I don't know. I think, because I was like, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know.
On a Tuesday?
Like you could have a taco on a Tuesday, I don't know. It's
well,
not.
I didn't even know who he was, literally.
Right. And then
he was messaging me, and I was like,
and then he did that. And that was the fucking crossing the line thing for me. So actually, that was actually, so it wasn't, we went through probably a week of fighting before that. I wasn't on my way to the airport. I was on my way to the airport when I found out that he messaged you and he messaged somebody else. And I was like, ooh, this is not a good idea. I should not continue this.
Who would have thought Taco Tuesday would cause so much craziness?
It honestly was insane. But then it became for us, a joke, because we're you were I had to kind of that's, I think, how things got personal between you and I, instead of just a Facebook friend that maybe I wouldn't have known, because I had to reach out and go, dude, I heard he did this and I'm so sorry. And
I was like,
you're like, it's cool.
Did I do something crazy or what did I? Oh my God! Hey, whatever I did, I apologize. I'm sorry. So yikes. But
that it was then, and maybe 2 weeks later, I was going to Washington anyways, or maybe it was when my dad but I was going to Washington, and it was a Tuesday. And so we were like, let's fucking fuck it. Let's go fucking hang out.
Yeah, you, me, Riddle.
We had an in-person Taco Tuesday.
We're like, let's do this. Let's actually do a Taco Tuesday. Because Riddle and I, we had actually found out that this little Mexican place down the street actually had on Tuesdays, they had some buffet with cheap drinks. And I was like, yeah, we've gone to a couple of these, so you got to join us. I think it was snowing or something like that. You're like, I don't know if I can make it there or something like that.
Well, I made it.
I know.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was funny, man.
He was there too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I got a little drunk that you guys called it the Auburn accent. I appreciate that.
The Auburn accent. Oh man, that is awesome. Yeah, I love that stuff, man.
She's not slurring; it's an Auburn accent.
Taco Tuesday. Yeah. So, so just to, as I was going through, how you could click on Facebook and then you could see the person's friendship. And I was like going through some of these different updates.
Fun. I bet we have a really fun one.
Yeah. There's a couple that made me kind of laugh here. This one was 12 years ago. This was in 2010. You said, when someone kicks the bucket, you're always the first to tell me. And in the event of my untimely death, I hereby elect you to inform the masses. You were just kind of like talking about that anyways. Like, Facebook is used for informing the masses.
I'm still okay with that. I'm still okay with that. If you'd like me to double down on that, please inform the masses. Well, it's why I'm on Facebook right now.
There you go. There you go. Well, I hope it never happens, Jessi. I hope it never happens. But if it does, I promise I will be there to share the awful news with everybody.
And
like I do with anybody anyway.
Now you can take over my Facebook page and call it like a dead person's page, right? Can you just do that?
Like a tribute page?
Well, is it better than just having an open page, or delete my page?
I don't know.
So I feel like there's a couple of people that have passed away that have open pages that I just wish didn't. I think it's I don't love when I can see somebody's posting on that page. It's creepy. You just make it go away.
I see Betty White, her assistant, keeps posting things, and I'm like, I'm about to unfollow Betty White.
I would. I don't follow her, but I would. It's not that I don't like Betty White, but
I mean, everybody loves Betty White.
I was going to say that when Betty White died, I wasn't tragic sad with everybody else, because dude, she was fucking old and she should die at her best point, and she's one of the few people I feel like that while she lived, everybody told her how much they loved her. And so your afterthoughts after she passed to me are that's cool, because she already knew.
There's other weeks away from 100.
There was
years
people
old.
like when Bob Saget died, I didn't realize how much he was loved. By a bunch of people, the community, and a bunch of people. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I was never a huge Full House but he was so annoying to me. And
you have a black heart. That's why.
I always felt like I was a little too old for whatever was going on with it, But yeah, I felt a little sad once I was oh, he probably didn't know that all these people fucking
right.
have all these cool things to say about him. Betty White fucking knew. So it was okay. So today was the real day.
Betty White knew she was an icon for quite some time. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's not gonna live forever. So that, good.
There you go. Well, look at this, the tipping of the glass to Betty White.
Betty, good for Betty.
All right. Okay, back to real quick, back to Taco Tuesday. So this thing, it's really become we've pretty much every week we send hey, happy Taco Tuesday, just literally since for 12 years we've been sending each other messages, and it's just kind of and we missed her, oh shit, sorry about that.
It's a thing. It's a real it's an event in my life that happens weekly, and it's the most
regular thing there is.
And a lot of people in my life know about it, to the extent where my husband calls you the taco guy or the Taco Tuesday guy. He's excited about this. He was like, where can I listen to it? I'm like, I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But
I love it.
We'll send
him a link.
He sends me stuff a lot, or he tags me and stuff for your Tuesday, but it'll be we used that 6 years ago, dude. It's tough to find new content.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And so, and honestly, I feel that's, if I had an amazing Taco Tuesday post, that would go on your Facebook wall. Still,
Yeah, you're right.
Because we have people that want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we have other people that tag us and shit. Like, there'll be some girl I barely know or don't know, but she knows her names. And she's like, for you and Josh, Mom.
Oh, totally. And this has gotten to the point where, you've bought like stuff for, Spud, your cat. You've like dressed your cat up in tacos.
I've sent stuff to you.
You sent socks to me. I wore that like a hat.
Taco trucks everywhere.
Taco trucks on every corner or something like that. I love that hat. It was great. Yeah. And it's just it's become like you're right. It's become its own thing. And it's like one of the most regular things that has been in my life for the last 10 years.
It is on schedule with my life to where like if we miss it, we're all shit. Like I can't even.
Oh,
because
we would never. Sorry.
If anything, it's never gone missed for like 2 weeks or something.
Right. No.
But now we just like text each other. Like if if I'm out of energy, if I'm out of everything for the night, maybe it's just a happy TT, buddy. But I remember, I know it's happening. There's tacos. We love it.
There's tacos.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's awesome. So in 2011, you and Charles Douglas Lilly, are you still in contact with Charles Douglas Lilly?
I got to see him today.
I'm a big Charles Douglas Lilly fan.
Me too.
I like him.
Me too.
But I thought, this is just me, like, me being, naive or whatever. But I thought that I could drink when you guys came to visit. I was like, yeah, I could drink. I'm a drinker. Oh, no. No. I am not a drinker when it came to you guys. You guys blew into town and, those big bottles, those big giant bottles of Costco vodka. And I remember you guys almost threw one of those down in one night. You're like, then you woke up, you're like, you guys ready to go? I was like, are you, Jessi, do you get hangovers?
I really don't get hangovers that much. Even now, I really don't. Like, there's days that I'm like, I'm tired, but I don't really get hangovers.
Oh, that is so crazy because I know a handful.
But Josh, we paid for those nights. We had some pretty.
Oh no, those are so fun. Yeah, no, it was awesome. Like, you got to see the that one little mini bar, the mini bar, the midget bar. I don't think.
And then tried to get home from there.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah. No.
Also, that same trip, I was like on a layover on the way home from Chicago while Charles was still in Phoenix, and I reached down and
somebody have to show their like Facebook page to get onto the plane.
Yeah, I still had Charles's fucking wallet in my purse and was in like St. Louis or something, and he was at the airport. So
no way.
This is a nightmare. Oh God, I remember that flight home going to puke.
That is so crazy.
That was a lot. We drank a lot that trip. A lot. I would say that was like on par for like if we were going to do a weekend drinking, which we did.
Right.
But God, it was on par for life at the time, I think. But during the weekend.
So Jessi, without getting too specific, what kind of work do you do now currently? How long have you been there?
I've worked for the same company it'll be 16 years in August.
That's wild.
It has grown from a aircraft leasing company. We used to own aircraft that we leased to companies. And now once COVID hit, it's tough because none of the airlines were flying and you can't just keep demanding payments from companies that aren't moving. Like literally they pay by the hour or by the landing or takeoff. So we know if you've moved, they're not moving. So we had to kind of redevelop, and we bought an airline in Malta.
Wow. Malta?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
So
I love Malta. That's where Popeye was filmed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I didn't know that. So we are now moving. We're doing like charters for specific companies that have agreements with us, and moving COVID related items between some various countries.
Wow.
So now I kind of work like an airline. It is legit.
16 years.
Hmm.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Like, a lot of people don't work for a job for, 5 years.
Yeah.
Let alone 16 years. Now, you live in Chicago, right? Like in the city of Chicago, correct?
I do currently, yes. I haven't always, though. Like for this company, I started in California. My 16 years, I guess, doesn't actually start until I moved to Chicago.
When did you first move to Chicago?
2007.
2007. Okay. And then you had the chance to relocate to Puerto Rico for your job, or what? How did that even come about?
Well, I asked for a raise because I hadn't had one in a long time. And my boss was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. But also, I was going to ask that, like, you do this because they needed somebody to be there you had to be there for the majority of the year. So it was like 183 days out of the year. And I initially thought that sounded like a couple of weeks and some weekends. And
right.
But really it was like 6 months and 1 day, which, okay. So I could do 6 months in a day. And then I went down there with the knowing that that's all I had to do. But then I met Angel, and I told him I was gonna have to be there for 2 years. Totally lied to him. But it ended up that I had to stay there for almost 4 years. So it worked out. They kept extending the time that I had to stay over and over.
Oh, wow. So I remember you seeing pictures and videos of you down there, and you're like on the beach having like drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see the photos and stuff like that. Now, do they put you up? Like, do they pay for your kind of like your housing and stuff like that?
My work paid for the whole time I was down there. They paid for
awesome.
There's one time I moved departments actually, and I moved from like a 1-bedroom to like kind of like a townhouse, like a 3-story townhouse. And it had like 3 rooms, and like it was much more impressive, but it was also less rent. And the girl that was like doing the lease at our work was like, but why do you need these rooms? I'm like, okay, do you want me to do you want to pay more? Legit, I'm asking to like switch to like a lesser rent place. Who cares how many rooms?
Right.
But
that's weird.
I got that, and it was great. And everybody came and visited me. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, I almost came to visit you. Like, you're like, hey, look, I have like rooms here. There's like, it was blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
it was like that place was like an apartment. Like people had like a whole floor to themselves. It was so nice. People really liked me then, Josh. I had a lot of visitors. Like, that's awesome. Even family I hadn't talked to in a bunch of years. Haven't talked to since.
Right. Like, yeah, we'll come down and visit you. You're in Puerto Rico?
I was very popular.
That's awesome.
This sucks because we don't have like our own place for a week at a time. Like, my sister's coming, or my sister's friend's coming. It was always somebody.
So you met Angel. Where did you guys meet, and how did this all happen?
I met Angel 2 weeks after I had moved there, and I was like, our IT guy was in town trying to set up our office. So our IT guy from Chicago was in town in Puerto Rico helping me set up the Puerto Rico office. So we were out, like I was out taking him out for like dinner and drinks, and we were just walking by, and there was nobody at this place. And I like places that nobody's at. I'm not a crowd person. Like, I don't want to talk to people. So we went there. And the people at the hotel that night have been telling me about how in Puerto Rico they have something called a chinchorrero or something, chinchorrero. And it's basically a bar crawl, but it's a bar crawl that they do in their cars. Like, they were like, oh, like, we get hammered, then we drive to the next bar. Like, it was a legit drive to the next bar. Yeah. So I was like laughing, like at the bar, being like, is this like a thing? And one of the bartenders was like, yeah. And like, he's going to go tomorrow, and like pointing at Angel. And apparently Angel had gone back to the kitchen and said, I'm going to get that girl's phone number tonight. And he's a really like quiet kind of guy. So that's pretty surprising.
That's awesome.
And I don't really know how, like, I don't know if he asked me for my number or something, but I gave him my whole business card because that's sexy. Like, I don't know. I was with like my IT guy, like, that's fine. Here you go. And he found me on Facebook and like friended me right away. And obviously, like, I accepted because that's back when you just accept.
Yeah.
But
right.
also he kept like tagging himself in places that he was like only drinking agua, or like kept saying how he's only drinking water. And I didn't really get that. So I didn't want to.
Like, he's drinking water.
So I didn't really want to hang out with him for the first couple of times. I didn't want to. As it turns out, he was like dieting or whatever, and those were isolated incidents, I guess. Because he's certainly not solo agua anymore.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, so like it was probably like 2 weeks of him like texting me a couple times and me being like, nah, I'm not gonna. And then finally I went and hung out with him one night, and I never wanted him to leave me ever again.
That's awesome.
Best.
Everybody likes hearing stories like that. You're like,
ever know.
Yada yada yada, and we're married.
I honestly, like, I loved him. My cat loved him. We're good, you know.
I love seeing pictures of you guys. He's always like smiling. He always seems so happy. I love it. So great. Yeah.
Tonight he left the house. He had like a zit on his face, and I was like, "Oh, but when you smile, like it goes into one of his dimples," and so he just keeps smiling. Like, perfect.
That's awesome. Now you did have a not so great time in Puerto Rico. I don't know what year this was. What year was that? Because you were in that big hurricane down there.
So
when was this?
That's why I ultimately moved. That's why. So that was in, I think 2018, maybe 2017. There was a Hurricane Olga that came, and I'd never been in a hurricane before, and it was a not super cool one on Puerto Rico, but I guess like as far as standards go at this point, it was kind of fine. But then it calmed down for maybe a week, and another hurricane came, Hurricane Maria, and Maria fucked that island up. Like just talking about it gets me chills. Like it makes me emotional. It was very, we had boarded up everything. We were still just freaking out. And it's not so much the moment of when the hurricane happens or anything for me, because that was more kind of like I like weather. I think weather's cool. I like a big storm in any kind of way. I like it was the aftermath of what had happened. Like it was living in a place that I couldn't flush my toilet. I couldn't get water. I had no electricity. There were bugs and shit all around because it's fucking hot and it's Puerto Rico. You couldn't buy water. You couldn't, it was fucking nuts. I never in my whole life, and I don't think that anybody has ever, there's a lot of people that don't feel I did not feel like I was a U.S. citizen at that point. I felt like, what the actual fuck is happening? One of my coworkers' husbands axed his calf because there was nobody helping move power lines, move trees, move anything except the people that lived there. And it was just frightening. I felt very alone. And
didn't you at one point, did you have to stay in your work? Because you didn't have power anywhere or anything like that, and they had some sort of power and electricity.
We certainly didn't have power, and then we didn't have any water, and Puerto Rico's fucking 110 and humid and buggy too. You can't leave windows open. You leave it open for a second and you legit have a swarm of bugs that now you got to deal with for the fucking rest of your natural life.
Just for the record, I'm not a fan of big bugs.
They're not even big. It'd just be a swarm of little ones, but just but yeah, so a couple of nights we were able to, my office was in a plaza kind of building. And it had its own bathroom. And so we brought the blow up bed and we stayed there for a couple of nights.
Wow. So at that point, you're just I can't do this anymore. Did you?
We already couldn't do it. So weirdly enough, at the time, at the end of whatever week was happening, we already had a scheduled vacation. So Angel and I were supposed to go to Denver to go see my friend Liz. But he was going to leave a couple of days before because he was going to go to Tampa. And whenever all this happened, my flight to Denver got canceled 5 days in advance. Just bitch, don't even think you're not getting on that flight. Canceled it. But his little fucking Frontier flight or something on to Tampa was still going. And so he took his. And so he left me there. So that wasn't super cool. We ended up meeting up in Denver. My family found one flight because I also couldn't really get on the internet for any period of time. I had one point person that I was talking to that my sister Amy that would tell everybody else. And because I can't even, I don't even know how long I'm going to have power for. I sometimes was able to charge up my car, sometimes on a battery pack, just depending on what was going on. Yeah, it was crazy.
That was wild. I remember when that happened too, because everyone was like, dude, everyone knows Jessi's in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico just got slammed by a hurricane. That was freaky. Yeah. You must have been just, your phone and Facebook and stuff must have been just blowing up. going crazy.
I mean, I think that actually a lot of people respected that I was only like, I had one point person. Like there were certain people that would like text, but then, you know, that also you get like empty texts from people that you're like, bitch, I don't even know you. Like if someone's like trying to heart me on Facebook, I don't know. You know, I knew who cared and I knew who didn't. And I knew, like, I had told my sister, like, make sure these people fucking know, like, I'm okay or I'm not. Like, but it was hard. It was crazy.
That's wild.
It's a time I've never, like, I'll never forget and never. It was very emotional all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine living through a hurricane and the aftermath and all that stuff. And so you ended up, Angel, you ended up moving to Chicago.
Yeah. So when that all was happening, we had to move. There was no place to go. So my work, again, so grateful for a lot of things they do for me. And they took Adhal and I and flew us to Chicago and put us in Airbnb for, I think the hurricane happened sometime in October. And so we did an Airbnb through the end of the year. So we're for like 3 months. And then I had to move back to Puerto Rico for tax reasons. And Puerto Rico still didn't have their shit together. I was not excited about doing it, but I had to do it. And there was kind of no point in Adhal moving back at the time because I was only going to stay for 6 months. So for somebody who's like, if he's trying to get a job in Chicago, like why move you back to Puerto Rico for 6 months and then blah, blah, blah. Right. So he stayed in Chicago and I moved back to Puerto Rico. I ended up being there for eight months, but I don't know. I felt like I just did my time. I had to do it for tax reasons at the end. And I don't want to, I love Puerto Rico. It's a great place to visit. I have a lot of fond memories. I think the people are very nice. I never will live there again. It is off the planet of places that Angel and I will retire in. I don't want to retire and
I don't blame you.
I just don't. I just really, I didn't realize how much I need. Like, so in Washington, we had a lot of electricity outlets, like times that days, week sometimes, maybe a week sometimes. But I think it's a whole different fucking ball of wax when you also don't have water and the temperature is 110 and sweaty. It is just too much.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't even imagine that. So let's get a little bit happier here. So Angel, let's focus on Angel here. So Angel, how did he become a Wolverines fan? He likes the Michigan Wolverines, right? And how did he become a Wolverines fan living in Puerto Rico?
So I don't think it's him. This is going to surprise you, but I think it's me that's the Wolverines fan here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and this will not surprise you as much when I tell you why. Okay. So, my friend Abby, you know Abby, yeah? You met Abby?
Yep.
So when I first met Abby, she was a roommate of mine that I didn't really know. She moved in from other people. And she like tried to wake me up one morning at like, I don't know, fucking 10:30 or something on a Saturday or Sunday and wanted me to go watch Michigan, like play some game. And I was like, no, what are you doing?
You're like, what? Why?
Well, like, who wakes somebody up to go on sports? What are you talking about? And she was like, well, like, Jessi, let's go have shots. We go have shots. And I thought,
shots.
Wait, are you telling me I can take a
Now
shot
you're speaking my language.
10:30 in the morning and this shit's okay? So yeah, okay.
That's football. That's football, baby.
So yeah, so we went to this bar right by our house. We started then you start knowing the bartenders, and like I was all sportsy, but you have to, I do think you have to like pick a team kind of thing. And Abby is Michigan. Yep. So I don't know, those are cute colors. It's blue and white. I'm into it.
One of the greatest mascots of all time. Whatever. Yeah.
So I started buying, because one of the things I like to do is dress up for stuff, not Halloween, but anything else that I can like stand out. Well, because Halloween, everyone else is doing it and I won't stand out. So, but like any other thing. So some thing, I'm going to do it. A Wednesday party, I'm going to do it. But so I started buying all the Michigan gear. I got so much Michigan gear. You would think I was just born blue blood. So like legit awesome. People like will be walking by like, and it's bled off into our house. So we've gone to tailgates. Like, so
tailgates is so fun. Oh, he love tailgates.
But we both hate it when someone goes like, "Go blue," when we're just like walking in the grocery store. Like, oh, I don't even know. Yay! I don't even know what to say to people because I'm wearing a cute shirt.
That's awesome. It is a fun atmosphere, right? I mean, like, getting ready for the games, drinking, partying, like with the the tailgates. Everything is awesome. I love football, man. Football is awesome.
I love the vibe, and I'll say I'm Michigan for that's college football, but like the other football, national football is other thing. I'm always going to be Raiders. So, and I don't care if anybody doesn't like it, and I don't have a really great explanation, a couple explanations, but I'm always going to be Raiders. Like they're black. They're black and white.
Like to hear that.
Angeles Raiders, Bo Jackson. I was in love. Loved me some Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson was a group. Gosh, he was so good.
I love Bo Jackson jersey. We went to a Bears game a couple months ago for work, and my work did a suite at the Bears place, and I wore my Bo Jackson jersey, and I got mad respect though. He's from Chicago, like I got respect.
You're always going to get respect for a player that is that good. Yeah. I mean,
there was one there's one girl at my work who's I don't know, like 31, and she said something like she didn't know Bo Jackson. So that didn't go over super well for her. As far as like,
what about a Trojan?
No, I never cared about any of those sports.
Did you go to any of the football games like when you were there?
I'm betting that I told my parents I was at some football games. I think I probably was like around a couple of them. I was in the vicinity smoking a cigarette somewhere.
Oh gosh, I love how we're like coming back full circle with the Jessi.
I don't know. It's like
so great.
That's so where great. I was. I probably didn't want to be, but
it's amazing. Well, Jessi, looks like you're almost out of alcohol there.
Yeah, and I have to work tomorrow.
You have to work tomorrow. So you know what? It's always been a nice talking with you. I mean, every Tuesday, just every Tuesday. I know I'm going to be speaking to you soon because Tuesday is coming up like it always does. So I can't believe I've known you now for 35 years or something, like going on 35 years.
No, you have not known me since I was 10. You're getting crazy now.
Well, let me see here. So what year is okay, maybe 32 years? 30.
I feel like 25 like since I was 15. That sounds fair.
No, because junior high is whatever. 30 years, whatever. Okay, 30 years, 35 years.
Okay.
Holy moly, whatever. All right, Jessi, we could probably taco about the old days for hours.
Oh, gosh.
You like that?
Waiting for
You
that.
like that? Yeah. 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 But I know that you got to get going. You got to get up for work. I have to get going because I can't keep, recording this thing for, hours and hours, but we're going to have to do it again. Maybe we'll have to talk about, maybe the top 10 greatest drugs you've ever done.
Well, I think we've already listed those, but hey, let's keep going. I'm here.
But Jessi, I want to thank you for coming on the show again. And hey, maybe next time we'll have Angel
Maybe
make an appearance. Maybe he'll make an appearance on the podcast and tell him hi. Tell Spud I said hi. Next time I want him in a taco suit.
Spud. What an ass face.
Spud. Yeah.
He's too old to move.
All right. For Jessi Cartagena, I'm Josh. And as always, thank you for being a friend.